guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new, welcome. As you can read by today's title, we're going to be talking about our personal life stories. So we're going to be telling you guys where we were born up to where we are now. So keep watching if you'd like to know that. So I'm going to start off with my life story, and if he has any questions, he's going to be asking me along the way, or if I forget something, because it's a lot, so I know I'll probably forget something. But I'm going to start off where I was born. I was born in Camagüey, Cuba. I was 6 years old when I came to the US. When we got here, I had no idea how to speak any English, like at all. My parents had no idea how to speak English. So we struggled quite a lot. I started off in first grade, which my teacher actually was very helpful, very kind, and she taught me a lot of English that I know now. Lucky me.
Yeah, you look like a green guy speaking right now.
And so that's what when we got here. After a few months of being here, my mom was diagnosed with thyroid cancer on one side, and she had surgery for that. And then a few months after she had the surgery and had it removed, she was diagnosed with cancer on the other side of her thyroid. So she had to get 2 surgeries total. My dad was a truck driver, but in Cuba he was diagnosed with thrombosis, which means he has blood clots in his leg, so his blood doesn't flow naturally. So he has to take medicine his whole life so his blood can actually flow. So he was a truck driver struggling with that because his leg would always hurt, but that was the only thing he liked to do, which was driving. And then my mom couldn't work because she had to do chemotherapy, radiations, and all that sort. From 6 years old up to about 9 years old, we lived in California, in Downey, California. We lived in 2 apartments. One was a one bedroom, which was our first apartment, and we all slept together. And the second one was a 2 bedroom, which was when I got my first bedroom. By the way, all of this, I was the only child by that time.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
And
was la niñita de papi.
the princess, I was the princess,
Yeah.
yes. Then, well, my mom was, at home she could barely drink water from where we drank, so we couldn't drink out of her cup, we couldn't eat with her spoon, we couldn't eat, she could barely even talk. We had to write down what we wanted to say to her. Well, we could say it to her, but she had to write down what she wanted to say to us. And since I could barely understand Spanish at that point, 8 and 9, I could barely read Spanish.
Oh, read the Spanish.
Yeah, I could barely read Spanish because I knew more English by that time than I knew Spanish.
Yeah.
I could speak it perfectly, but I could barely read Spanish. So it was kind of hard for us to communicate. But we got her to work. My dad was still doing truck driving, and that was California.
That was California.
We moved a lot. We've been here for 12 years now.
I don't know how they can do it. You've been in total for 5 states?
4 states, but we've moved way more than 4.
Yeah.
So in California we lived 3 years. 3 years. And we moved 2 times. Move on to when I was 9, we went to Texas, Houston, Texas. And we lived in Houston, Texas for 1 year. We stayed in Houston, Texas for a year, went to school. I did half of 4th grade and half of 5th grade. And in half of 5th grade, I left to Nebraska, Columbus, Nebraska.
Too cold.
In Columbus, Nebraska, I did half of 5th grade and half of 6th grade. And then from Columbus, Nebraska, we went back to Houston, Texas, and I did half of 6th grade up to 10th grade. So, going back a little bit. First year in Houston, we were fine. We were stable, we were doing good. But my uncle, which is my dad's brother, moved to Nebraska. So my dad decided to move as well. So we went up to Columbus, Nebraska. And in Nebraska, we stayed for a year, as I mentioned before. And my dad worked in a company as well with my mom. My mom, after having cancer, was told she could never have any kids at all. She was told she couldn't have any kids because it could cause her complications, it could cause the baby complications, and it was just a whole mess. But after a year of living in Nebraska, since we were stable, everything was going well, we found out my mom was pregnant with a little girl, which is now my little sister. She had complications with her pregnancy. She would bleed a lot, she would have a lot of trouble, but my little sister came out healthy, very, very healthy, and my mom was doing well as well. So that was perfect, but my little sister was conceived in Nebraska, but was born in Houston, Texas. So after leaving Nebraska back to Houston, we lived in Houston for 4 years. Houston was the worst place to live. My dad couldn't find a job. My mom was not able to work because of my sister, and she had to take medications because of postpartum depression and
Cancer.
and she still had to take medications for cancer. She had diabetes because of the pregnancy. It was a lot. My dad was paying a truck. My dad was paying a car. I was not old enough to work. I was around 14, 13.
15.
I was myself in a depression state because I could see like my parents struggling and not being able to help. That caused me trouble. I felt like I was useless, that I couldn't do much. So that caused me to be upset. Anyways, Houston was the worst place to live. We struggled a ton. I'm telling you, a ton. Anything you can possibly think of. We got to a point where my little sister got hurt. We were riding a bike and she was sitting in the middle and her foot got stuck on the wheel.
Yeah, between the pole that hold the wheel to the bike right there when you have your brakes, you know, but for una bicicleta de masa, right? The one that doesn't have any brake, they have to stop rolling back. She stuck her feet between the leg and the pole, between the wheel and the pole right there.
So my little sister was about 1 year old and we were riding a bike and then her leg got stuck. And it got to a bad point where we couldn't even buy her like
Band-Aids.
anything, band-aids, nothing. We had no money, absolutely zero money. The only money we had was to pay the rent, and if we didn't pay the rent, we would be kicked out.
Yes.
So we were struggling. We lost cars, we lost trucks, we lost jewelry that we had to sell so we could get money. Luckily we had my boyfriend at that time paid for my little sister's like band-aids and alcohol so we could like cure her. We went to the hospital, the bill was sent to our Medicaid. Luckily she was better, she got it fixed, she got a cast so she could get her foot better. But we did struggle a lot in Houston. Amazingly, I did find the best people, like the best friends that I've ever had in my whole life in Houston. So I am very grateful for Houston for that matter. But I'm also scared to even go back because of how much we struggled as a family. But anyway, leaving Houston, I left after
11th grade.
10th grade, no. I left after 10th grade to Austin, Texas. So we left Houston, we moved to Austin, Texas. In Austin, Texas, I did half of 10th grade.
And 11th grade.
And 11th grade. Yes, half of 10th grade, 11th grade. So we lived a year and a few months. Austin was great. We didn't struggle. My dad had a job. My mom was, at home taking care of my sister, but she would also go to work. She worked at a company like packing clothes and stuff. So we were doing fine. I was working at a movie theater, so I was able to help them.
She was doing a lot of hours.
Yeah, the movie theater. But Austin was great. I also met amazing people there, which I love and still talk to. And then after 11th grade, I came down to Florida, which is where I am now. I did 11th grade till 12th grade. I graduated, and then I did a year of college, and now I'm starting my second year of college. So I've been here for 2 years now. I met this beautiful person. We've been together for a year and 4 months. And I've also met amazing people in Florida. So I can say that I've met amazing people throughout the whole years of living in the US. But Houston and Florida have definitely
the best. And the point is, she's only been here for 2 years. So nobody knows what's gonna happen in the next 2 more.
Or more.
Like, we are planning to stay here, but if we find better opportunity, we just go out of here, you know, find a better place, be safe, be like stable is like the important point, like be stable. But if we have to stay here, we're just gonna stay here, you know.
But yeah, throughout the years that I've lived here, we've had really bad days, we've had really good days. Right now we are very stable, we are taking care of each other. I am working, my mom's working, my dad's working, my sister's going to school. So,
you are working and school too.
Yeah, so
that's same. We basically like if we see us like the only time that we have to spend each other is like Saturday overnight and Sunday. You know, like that night between Saturday and Sunday is the only time that we have to spend together because I work Saturdays, she works Saturdays. But I don't work Sundays and she works the Sundays.
Yeah, so what he's saying is that we go to school and then we also work. So we can barely even see each other. We're supposed to upload Sundays and today's a Wednesday and we're making this video because we're not going to see each other on Sunday. So it's a little balancing. We do talk the whole day even.
Oh hell yeah. Like in school, my teacher, my instructor is like, hey, what are you doing in your watch? And I'll be like, nothing, bro, don't worry about it.
We do talk throughout the whole year, but that's pretty much my story. I mean, we're doing fine. We did struggle. I had an eating disorder in Houston where I got really skinny. I had to go to the hospital for passing out because I wouldn't eat. I had depression. And it was a lot. Houston was
the worst.
Yeah, Houston was the worst. Financially wise, let me say that, because friendship wise
was good.
One of the best. But that was Texas, and
here in Florida, you know, Florida.
I don't remember a lot of California. I do have amazing friends there as well, which I still talk to. But I don't remember a lot since I was like 6-9 years old. Kind of like I have really bad memory, so my memory. But I know we did really good in California when we were actually able to get our papers and all of that, blah blah blah. But that is it. If you guys do have any questions, if you guys wanna fill in something that I missed out,
yeah, just ask some. We're gonna be posting in Instagram, like something, so you guys can ask.
No, we can ask them like the comments.
In the comments. That's gonna be
nice. You guys can ask in the comments, and then we'll go ahead and answer the best way we can.
Yes.
But your turn, your story.
Okay, so how you doing? I was born in Cuba in 1998 in La Habana, the beautiful capital of the Cuba. But you know, I came to this country when I was 15. So during all these years, I haven't let's say a really good childhood, like one of the best childhood ever. Like, you know, a lot of people that are in this country, they always complain about it, like, oh, the young kids and the kids are always playing on the tablet, on the phone. And I was like, bro, I have a really good and amazing childhood because we play in the mud, we play soccer, like, ¿cómo se dice pelota? Baseball, right? We play baseball, we play everything on the street without shoes, like, we having such a fun, like, so much fun, thank you. And right now, my mother have to, like, honestly, she have to take my brother out of his room from playing in the PlayStation when she have to go down and take me for playing in the street up to my house for me to take a shower and go to bed. You know, it's like, what I'm saying is I have an amazing childhood. My school was great. I always was the, ¿cómo se dice? El zorro, like the pícaro. You know, like the sneaky one that always in front of the people, like in the old people, like the vecinos, like my parents, my family members. I was the good, the neighbors. I was the good one, but behind the scenes, you know, I just doing a lot of things. But yeah, that was basically my childhood. But the breaking point of me to begin here right now was with my grandma came to US in 2010, and my uncle on the same year went to Cuba. So my uncle asked us if we wanna came here. Wanna come here. My mother said in the first place no, because we have a lot in Cuba. We have our own house. We have like family members, like all the family that we have in Cuba. But when my grandma goes back to Cuba from here, she just tell my mother like, hey, you have to go over there because that's the only place where me and my brother has a good future. And it's right, like she was right. From that moment, we take about 4-year process to come here, and I arrived to the U.S. as an immigrant in December 25, 2014. Exactly, Christmas. That's when I came to this country in Christmas. Now you have to think about it, like be sitting in an office for between 7 and 9 hours without food, without nothing. Like you even get impressed when you go to the bathroom because the toilet flushing by himself. That's the kind of thing that I have to deal with. You know, be right there for like 9 hours and just leave. And the first thing that I asked my uncle was like, I'm hungry. Where we can go to eat? And this appointment, he just told me like, hey, this is the only day in this country that anything works. Even McDonald's doesn't work. So yeah, by starting there, we came right from Miami to the airport to here, to where we live. We don't live in Miami. We don't live in Miami.
We live in Southwest Florida.
Yeah, we live in Southwest Florida. Yeah, I just came right.
Southwest?
Yeah, Southwest Florida. Yeah,
Southwest.
We don't even know where we live, so don't worry about it. And I just get the soon that we arrive here. My brother starting the school. I start in high school. Okay.
What grade?
Half of 10th grade. Yeah, in the sophomore year.
Okay.
Yeah, sophomore year. Was like kind of rough, you know, because the way that she struggled with the language was tough. But she was like bad because, you know, she was
the only child.
Exactly, the only child. I say that I have such a good but bad experience because when I started the school, you know, I was put in one class where nobody speak Spanish. Like they just throw me there, and the teacher start talking like, no, was like bad. Was a bad experience because just think about it, like be sitting in a place when people are talking and you don't be able to understand what they are saying, you know. It's like kind of weird, but as soon as I left that math class, I went to the ESOL class. Man, that was when the thing gets good. Like all the Latinos are right there. Nobody speaks English. Like we're having such a great time. But what's the truth?
We have such a great time.
Yeah, we have such a great time. Yeah. And that was basically school, home. That was Eric for the next 2 years. But when I hit senior year, yeah, I was doing basically the same.
Where did you work? When did you start working?
Half a senior year. Senior year, I started working in like this beautiful place called Walmart that I'm still working right now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
4 years later,
No, 3 years and a half later, I'm still working for the same people. I'm glad to work for you guys. If you're watching this, I'm happy. Yeah. Such a good time.
And then you went to college.
I went to college for graphic design. Okay, I went to college for graphic design. Was like I like it a lot. I really like it, but for me to make money being a graphic designer, I have to move out of the state, you know. And you know, Latino families, they don't, like, she can tell, like, nobody live by themselves, you know. If you have to move out, your mom and your dad is going with you. It is like that. And we are not, at that moment, we are not able to go to New York for me to work as a graphic designer, even California, like, you know. But I found a job here in town working for a screen printing shop that I wasn't good pay. I have to say, wasn't good pay, but I really enjoy doing the work. Like it's one of those jobs that you do, and you for one side you forget about the payment and how much they're paying you because you enjoy and you like what you're doing. In that company, I was wrapping cars. I was really enjoying what I was doing. Like I cannot say nothing bad about those people because they really introduced me like to the real working 40 hours every week. This is how you're gonna work. Bam, bam, bam. Full-time job. But I was really enjoying that kind of things. But right now, guess what? Eric went back to school for being an electrician, like my father. Okay? And yeah, that's what basically is happening since January. She's in school, I'm in school, she's working, I'm working, and yeah, that's what's basically we're doing right now.
Have you had any life struggles?
Um,
Like medical problems in your family, or have your parents struggled with money at any point? You know what I mean?
yeah, but there was, not as such. I mean, when we came here, we live in my uncle's house for 8 months. That
8 months?
8 months, yeah, that was a bless. Let me say, that was a bless because nobody, like no family member, hold you in your house for more like 3 months, at least. He was coming there for 8 months, but we have to move out. It is what it is. We have to move out, and we are living on our rent. That was kind of expensive. My mother can't work. My father was the only one working, making $250 a week. I was in school. My brother was in school. My mother, like she's not working. Like those for like maybe 5-6 months are the one that we have struggle. The government take the first time out of us in the first 3 months. So food is kind of expensive. Insurance is kind of expensive. Yeah, so far the soon that we just moved out of my uncle's house is when we started struggling. Like that was 1 year, and then my father, luckily my mother started working with my father. I work at Walmart. They are both work together. I was in school, I was doing college. I was kind of helping him the most that I can because I was making the minimum, pushing carts in Walmart. What's up, Walmart? How you doing? Yeah, that's basically what it is. I've been here for only 5 years. Like she's been here, how long, baby?
12.
Exactly. Yeah. So
You can tell.
Yeah, you can tell my accent's a little bit broke, but I'm trying. Promise.
He's gotten really good at it.
Yeah, and you guys won't believe where I learned the best English that I'm able to speak, because I cannot write the English at all. Like I'm totally destroying the English when I'm writing it. I don't know how to write English, but the talking, I learned the most of the talking in Walmart. Yeah, you see, Walmart, yeah, because
the graphic designing.
no, it was in Walmart, and the graphic design too, because in Walmart, if some customer tell you something, I was like, okay, what's she talking about? She was talking about the chicken breast. I don't even know what the chicken breast is, but yeah.
You do now?
Oh hell yeah, I know. I'm one of the best worker right there. And if you're watching this and you know me, you know who I am, bro. You got me. I mean, you know who I am. Okay. Yeah. What else? Yes, in the graphic design, I was the only Latino in the class. Honestly, yeah. I think I learned English and the teacher learned Spanish. That hard, like. Yeah. Social, like that was my life. Yeah. I'm trying to do the best right now. But one thing that I have to be glad is that I found her. This beautiful and lovely woman that made me happy. Man in the earth.
If you have any questions about either one of our stories, or would like to know more about a certain topic, or I don't know, want any advice of something that we've been through, comment down below. We'll make sure to read them, answer them the best way we can.
And if you wanna comment something funny, like, hey, what is, I don't know, de qué color es el cabello blanco de Maceo, that kind of things, you can comment too. You're welcome to the family. Don't worry about it. We will love you. Baby, keep going. I'm running out of ideas.
Anyways, we hope you guys liked the video. I know it got a little personal. You guys are not used to, like, we normally do like challenges and fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to let you guys know a little bit more about ourselves, so you can kind
who
of
we are and
so,
what we are doing.
So you can kind of see our point of view and what we've been through.
Exactly.
So make sure you give it a thumbs up.
Please.
You subscribe down below.
Subscribe.
You like the video. And comment any ideas, any videos that you guys would like to see next time.
Exactly. If you want some challenge, just do it. Comment. We will do it. Yes. Alright?
Peace.
Peace.